Hello and welcome to Common Room Conversations. My name is Chris White.
And I'm Brendan White, and welcome back, you guys. I know we took a week off last week. We had to recuperate.
I needed it.
Exhausted. We were all exhausted and just super busy as soon as we got back from our vacation. But we are back.
You might be. I did not leave the house until a week after I got back.
Yep. As soon as I got back, I fell asleep, and 5 hours later, worked a double.
Well, I just stayed in bed the whole week and was catching up on some stuff at home with cats and stuff.
Sounds glamorous. Sounds glamorous. But we are back, guys. We're bringing you episode 5.
Yep.
And we have a lot to discuss this week. And in the weeks coming, we'll have even more to discuss. Especially as, we get closer and closer to the big reveal and release of Spider-Man No Way Home. And that's actually how we're going to kick it off today. We're going to talk a little bit about Spider-Man. So we're going to start off with that today.
Now, you guys know we're very new to this whole podcasting thing, and it kind of wouldn't be possible. Now, Anchor is the sponsor of today's episode, and they are the reason that we are able to do what we do. They help us with everything from creating to distributing the podcast, and even helping us connect to sponsors so that we can continue to do what we love with you guys. Now, Anchor has the tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Now, that is super simple, right at the palm of your hands. I can get a podcast edited immediately if I wanted to. When hosting on Anchor, you can distribute your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more. We're available on 22 different podcasting sites, and that's all because of Anchor. They make it super simple and super easy to get yourself out there. They have everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. And best of all, Anchor is totally free. Now, if you want to join the podcasting space, you can download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
All right. So, yes, kicking it off, we got our first look at the 2018 Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. We get the first look at our sequel to that movie.
Yeah.
And I, for one, am very excited about it because I saw Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse 3 times in the movie theater. And I thought it was probably one of the greatest anime movies I've ever seen in my life.
It was interesting. I enjoyed it, but I didn't care too much for the animation style. I know that's like the main draw is how different and unique it is, but I feel like it was
Oscar-winning animation
I know,
style.
Right? But Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, Part 1. It's Part 1, which means we're getting another kind of already announced if you're going to call it Part 1.
Well, I mean, I took that as this is Part 1 is this is our first view into it.
No, I take it as this is going to be a 2 or 3 movie.
I wouldn't say 3. If it is going to be multi parts, it definitely would be 2.
Yeah. It's definitely going to be more than 1 if they're calling it Part 1.
They already scratched they scratched the surface with Into the Spider-Verse. They had the Down His Luck Spider-Man introduced, and then they introduced Spider-Man Noir and Spider-Gwen, Spider-Ham, who I love Spider-Ham, and I forgot the other one. She was the little Asian girl with a robot. But they introduced that.
Oh, yeah.
So they scratched the surface with those. But one thing I'm because there's so many different variations of Spider-Man to go with, and the end credit scene. I don't know if you remember the end credit scene in the first one where we saw Spider-Man 2099, and he was talking to his AI, and he was talking about trying to find more people like him. So, and right from the trailer, we see him actually getting into a little brawl with Spider-Man 2099.
Oh, was that
was the blue Spider?
Okay.
The more of the blue costume was him. So it's going to be very interesting to see which world they end up in, because it looks like
it wasn't even a trailer though. It was a first look.
It was it was and it wasn't. It gave us a lot of it gives honestly a lot of information in a minute, because we see Miles traveling through. Was it 2 minutes?
Yeah.
Well, we see Miles traveling through the Spider-Verse, aka the multiverse, and it seems that he has no control over it, and that he was just pulled into it. So now we will see. I think that we won't see him in the first world that we saw him in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse in the first one. We won't see him in his world. He'll be in a new element. He'll be maybe.
Well, it looks like he starts in his world when Gwen comes out of that portal from above.
Yes, but
then
I wonder if we're gonna see him being pulled into the portal, or it's gonna literally take off from him already in the portal. Because how the first one ends with him sitting in bed, listening to his headphones, and then Gwen kind of like appears above him. She's like, Miles, I need you. And then, so like we see it in.
Is that how it ends?
That's how it ends, and then they had the end credit scene with 2099.
Oh. So this is like literally an exact like picking up where it ended off.
I feel like it would be really cool to see.
Because that's how the trailer started, or first look started.
And then it's really cool that we do see him like traveling through all these different, like it's such a fucky kind of element he's in. Like it's not like a definitive like, oh, he's passing this location and this location. It's all twisted and fucking morphed and it's really crazy. And then I do think though that with him, because we see he has like really no control of how he's traveling, but then we do see Spider-Man 2099. It looks to see like he maybe has control of it. He's kind of mastered the like traveling through the multiverse, because he catches up to him. It's almost like he's like diving towards him, and he catches him, and it looks as though maybe they're either brawling or maybe he's trying to save him.
Yeah, it looked like they were fighting. That's what I got from it, and then I had no clue who it was or anything, but you clearly do. This is going to come out on October 7th, 2022. So we still have
too long.
A while. 10 months.
I can't wait to finally see. I mean, it's gonna be such a killer though, because we have 10 months till it comes out, and I'm just gonna be begging for a trailer. And I can't even tell you how many times I watched the first trailer.
I think we'll probably get another one. Ooh.
Probably by the time honestly Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness probably comes out, like when that releases, probably in February or was it March? Get one
with a Marvel movie though, since it's Sony. I know that it's a Marvel character.
No, but what I'm saying is like around the same time, because it's still a Marvel produced movie. So I mean, they'll probably want to like bang out a bunch of
speaking about it being a Marvel produced project. One of my things with it is in the movie, Gwen Stacy is voiced by Haley Steinfeld.
Yep, and
she is now in the Marvel universe as Kate Bishop,
one of my
in Hawkeye,
favorite characters.
So. I personally am like, I don't like that she's two characters in the same universe.
Well, I would agree with you only if this was a live action, I'd fully agree with you.
I consider the animated stuff the part of the universe though. I don't
because it is separate though, because it's animated and it's a Spider-Verse movie, not a MCU movie. Because how Morbius and Venom, and Morbius is going to be a Spider-Verse movie. The Venom's movies are, well, the first one at least is.
But if that's a Spider-Verse movie, that's still a live action. Is kind of still in the same.
It's
thing.
It's very
Gwen
complicated.
Stacy has been a live action character in the past.
Yeah, but not with the MCU.
I mean, she's still technically a part of Marvel. Like, it's not even MCU, it's just Marvel in general being two characters. I don't think we have anyone else that has played two characters in the MCU or the Marvel, anything Marvel.
That's not true.
Who has?
Benedict Cumberbatch played Doctor Strange, and he voiced Dormammu in that movie.
In what movie?
In the Doctor Strange movie.
Oh, well.
He voiced Dormammu.
Did he do it at the same time? Because this is technically at the same time.
He's in the same movie. He voiced Dormammu and himself. Played Doctor Strange himself.
Is that like a smaller character? The other
Dormammu was the huge intergalactic being that Dormammu, I've come to bargain.
How many lines did he have though? Not much.
I mean, a decent amount for such a small scene.
Because I know that like when Ashley Eckstein, who, I'm talking Star Wars here, when they were making the Clone Wars, they were allowed to voice smaller characters, but not be like a main character. Like, she's two main characters in the MCU. That's what I'm getting at right here. Like,
well, no, but
she's characters.
Not. But Haley Stein, but they're not in this movie is not going to be an MCU movie. It's not
Marvel in general.
No,
I'm not bringing MCU.
Well, you said MCU. I find it okay because it's not an MCU project, because it's its own entity. it's over here because it only really includes aspects of like the Spider-Verse, you know what I mean? Like there aren't any other characters hero wise that aren't Spider-Verse heroes, you know what I mean? There's plenty.
But also, as we know, we could see a live action Gwen Stacy pop up in the new Spider-Man live action movie. We don't know that.
We could, but
they could be holding that from us.
The thing is, if it does, that's not gonna be Haley.
They're
Seinfeld.
Gonna bring Haley Steinfeld.
No, they're
gonna live action.
No, it's gonna be. If they do that, it would just be Emma Stone again.
Yeah, probably. Which she recently just did a big Disney project, so she's
yep.
pretty close. So let's kind of dive into a couple of scenes. I know we kind of really talked about them already. But the trailer starts out with Gwen popping out of the portal above Miles' bed.
Yep.
And then she asks him to hang out. And he's like, I'm grounded, I can't do that. And then she's like, okay, well, I'm going to go have fun. And backflips out of the window. And then Miles is looking out of the window and she's just like spider suctioned to the wall. Dang. Just like horizontal with the wall. Not horizontal. Would it be vertical? She's horizontal.
Yeah.
She's like just straight up like sideways.
Hiding, yeah. She's hiding.
And then it kind of like cuts into him falling through the portal, and I don't know what happened in between that, but there wasn't too much here. That scene with them, literally exactly what I described, was like a minute long, I think.
Yeah.
It was long. So that's why I was watching it. I was like, oh, we're getting like a sneak peek at the beginning of the movie. And then it like cut into other stuff. And I was like, oh, we're getting a little bit more. But then it moves into that small action scene where he's fighting Spider-Man, whatever the fuck you said. But this is a sequel to the 2018 film. Which it sounds like it takes place literally right from the end, from what you said.
Yep.
One of the things I wanted to talk about, you mentioned all of the different people they meet. It was confirmed by producer Christopher Miller that Nicolas Cage is confirmed to return as Spider-Man Noir.
Yes, I love Spider-Man Noir. Spider-Man Noir is probably one of my favorites, and it just added like an extra chuckle that we have a Spider-Man being voiced by Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
And then
I love Nicolas Cage.
I love Nicolas Cage too, but it was even funnier. It's like the dialogue, yeah, was so serious and such a non like serious movie.
Yep.
And I can't wait to see him return.
It was definitely like comedic relief. I feel like a good, a different.
Yeah, like his quote about the matchstick.
Yeah, they were very diverse in their comedy that they brought.
What if he is since he's rumored to not rumored, he's confirmed to return as Spider-Man Noir. Mm-hmm. I'm wondering if maybe that this movie will take place not only in one location, but since he's already guiding his way through the multiverse, maybe they'll be in different Spider-Man's universes. Yeah. So maybe they'll reunite with Spider-Man Noir.
Maybe he doesn't have control of getting sucked in, and maybe he just ends up randomly with different people in their respective dimensions.
I feel like that's how towards the beginning of it will go, and then maybe when he meets up with Spider-Man 2099,
team up.
He'll like help him, guide him through,
okay.
And I
teach him the ways of how to actually
like
travel.
Guide through it. I would love to absolutely love to just to see this like a good portion of the movie take place within the Spider-Man Noir universe because I would love to see this style of animation with because it looks like they're bringing back the comic book style animation that they used for the first film.
Yeah.
And it'd be even more exciting and cool to see it with that animation style added into a black and white setting of like the noir New York, which would be really, really cool to see.
I can definitely see that being a scene in this movie.
That would be epic. Mm-hmm. I would love it. And maybe slight possibility we could even maybe see a Daredevil appearance, maybe like an animated Daredevil, maybe in the noir scene. Or in one of them, it's such a long shot.
I'm not a big like I'm not like a big person that's known about the extended characters that like were in Netflix series like Jessica Jones and Daredevil. I don't really know outside of the core MCU people. I don't know.
I will be talking
more
for Spider-Man. A little more about that when we get to our later topics. But again, that's such a long shot for this movie.
Yeah.
But I'm very excited to see the direction they go for the sequel, and if it is really a part one, and it's like that's the official title, like Across Spider-Verse Part 1, it'd be amazing to see like as part 2. And I can't wait to see what this movie has in stock for us.
So this is Joaquim dos Santos's first animated movie to get a theatrical release.
Really?
I think it was his only animated movie when I looked through his credits as well. But this movie has a budget, or an estimated budget, because we don't know the exact, of $150 million.
Which is insane because
for an animated movie, that's large.
Which is it's great that it did so well. The first one did so well with audiences and critics, and it won an Oscar because I know from the first movie the budget was only $90 million.
Yep.
So now they got the same budget and then some to make a sequel to it. And if this movie is well received, as I believe it will be, I can see that number doubling for a part 2.
Definitely. So it's directed by 3 people. The first one is Joaquim dos Santos, which I just mentioned. He's got 11 director credits. His most notable, he did 12 episodes of Legends of Korra. He did 8 episodes of Avatar: The Last Airbender. And he did 20 episodes of Justice League Unlimited. Then the next one is Kemp Powers, which he only has 2 director credits. This and Soul, which recently just came out. Yep. It was the Disney movie. And he actually wrote Soul.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
So he is that writer. And Justin K. Thomas, which this is his only director credit. But he does have 25 animation credits, and he's been in the animation industry for years. So it's good to see different people attached to this movie and get to work on it and get their foot out in directing rather than just one person.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm excited for this movie. I really am.
I'm very excited. It's gonna fucking drive me crazy to have to wait almost an entire year for it to come out.
Yeah, I was watching the trailer, and like I had mentioned, I wasn't a fan of the first one because of the animation style, but I think it's growing on me. I was watching it and I was like,
well, it's because we've literally never seen an animated movie done that way.
It looks like comic books, right?
Which is great.
And I was never a comic book person. That's why I'm not in this. Like, I never have read a comic book. I don't think ever. So, like, that's why I didn't really care for the art style.
You call yourself a fucking nerd.
It looks pretty good. I don't like comic books. I like movies. That's my thing. But yeah, we're gonna see a lot of Spider-Man in the next few years, and I'm here for it.
We're gonna see an immense amount of Spider-Man because, well, actually, to add to that, we are gonna see such a great amount of Spider-Man because I know we had talked about it when we talked about the No Way Home trailer. Did you see the confirmed by Sony that we are getting another 3-movie? We're getting another trilogy with Tom Holland, so we're gonna see a metric fuck ton of Spider-Man, whether it's Spider-Man standalone movies or Tom Holland in the MCU. For the Avengers movies, so we have a lot.
I think Spider-Man is probably my favorite Marvel character.
I like Spider-Man a lot, but I'm also a diehard Captain America. In the MCU, especially, Chris Evans portrayed a phenomenal Captain America, and just all 3.
Do you know? Days after
I found out,
days after we were in Disney,
we left Magic Kingdom. Mr. Chris Evans himself.
Yep.
Was in Magic Kingdom, and I swear to God, I probably would have had a heart attack if I saw Chris Evans and even got to say hi to him. I would probably drop dead on the floor, and my life would be complete. I found that out, and I was not happy about it.
It always happens.
Always,
it's just off.
But yeah, no, I'm very excited to see what the future holds for more and more Spider-Man.
Yeah, me too. The third installment of the Jurassic World series or trilogy. It might be more. I think it was talk that there's going to be more of them.
No, we'll call it a trilogy for now. I mean, if they do, I don't see them doing another movie with the same cast.
I think they did. I think they announced that this was not over with Chris Pratt and them. But Jurassic World Domination.
Dominion.
Why do I keep calling it Domination?
Jurassic World Dominion.
June 10th, 2022. I even fixed my notes, and I still said Domination. There wasn't too much in the trailer. So there was 3 trailers released. One was 8 months ago, one was 2 months ago, and then there was a prologue. And the prologue was 5 minutes, and I did not have the patience to watch that. It was basically a lot of B-roll. A lot of these were just B-roll.
Well, that
filled.
wasn't. I wouldn't consider that B-roll. I mean, it furthers the plot in such a weird way with no dialogue, and then because like once you get past like that, like first like mini prologue part, and then you see the incident at the drive-in where they have the T-Rex, I believe it is, like crashing the drive-in and everything. Which
they just took the boring parts of the movie and gave it to us now.
Sorry guys, like warning guys, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like
they were like, here is 2 dinosaurs fighting, and this dinosaur dies and then flies infest him. And wow, such a good
mosquitoes
thing to watch.
The mosquitoes.
But the trailer was all of them were very ominous. They didn't give us too much plot. It was very loose, which they've tried to keep the plot a little bit of a secret.
But that's like crazy to me too, especially with such a close release date, because it comes out in 6 months.
Yeah,
which is nuts because we don't even have like a full cohesive trailer yet. Like we have confirmation that Bryce Dallas Howard is returning. We have Chris Pratt's returning, and then we also have from the original trilogy we have Jeff Goldblum, Sam Neill, I believe his name is, and Laura Dern.
Yes. And this will be the first time that Laura Dern, Sam Neill, and Jeff Goldblum are on screen together since 1993. Which is insane. You know, Jeff Goldblum was in Fallen Kingdom, I believe it was, very short. Just like a cameo, little tiny bit. And I believe the other 2 have made like small appearances, but not together in this series. And now they are.
Were they? Were Sam Neill and Laura Dern?
I don't think they were in Fallen Kingdom.
I saw bits and pieces of Fallen. I don't even think I've fully seen Fallen Kingdom.
I think Fallen Kingdom is the only Jurassic World I've seen. Because I didn't see the original. Well, I've seen bits and pieces of the original.
Well, I know for a fact that those 3 were not in Jurassic World, like the first one that came out with Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas. They were not in that one.
So maybe Jeff Goldblum is the only person that's done a cameo in this
new. He probably is. I'd have to rewatch Fallen Kingdom, but
like I said, there's lots of B-roll.
Yeah.
Like, it was so much B-roll in this that it was like, there was like little bits of like ADR and voiceover, but you know, with stuff like that could just be given to us now and not be in the movie at all. It happens all the time.
Which is even, it's crazy to me too that we got that B-roll, the trailer just full of B-roll and behind the scenes, like shots that look like they have someone filming from a phone. Like we got that 8 months ago, and 8 months passed, and all they could give us was a prequel. They can't even give us like a full like trailer. Yeah, it has me doubtful that it will come out on June 10th.
Well, it's weird because the movie was originally supposed to come out a while ago, I believe.
No, I think it was supposed to have an earlier release date, but not earlier than 2022.
Oh, interesting.
Or maybe it was 2021.
Yeah, I don't remember at all. But it was very suspenseful. That's another thing I have to talk about. There was a scene where there's like an older gentleman in his house.
Yep, that's Sam Neill.
Oh, is that Sam Neill? And he's like just looks terrified.
Yeah, I feel like because he's got a lot of the traumatic events from going like in Jurassic Park. Because I can't remember if he was in the second one, but I do know he was in the first and the third one.
I don't think I've even seen Jurassic Park.
You motherfucker! You need to see those movies. Those are great movies.
I don't think I have. I again might have seen bits and pieces of them, but
those are great movies.
Not in full.
Great movies. But yeah, and then what's really like makes it a lot more ominous and suspicious that like when Jeff Goldblum was mentioning that that man is gonna have to now adapt to learn to live alongside the Jurassics, like all the dinosaurs and everything, which is that's terrifying.
Yeah.
If I fucking had to live next to a fucking T-Rex, I'd shit my pants every day I got in my car.
I'm scared with the fucking cat clawing my feet every day. Let alone a fucking dinosaur. So the movie's gonna get released on June 10th.
Maybe.
Which is
maybe
supposed to. which is just one day before Jurassic Park released in 1993.
Coincidence?
That released on June 11th. And 2 days before Jurassic World in 2015 released.
Coincidence?
Which released in June 12th. I think not. Yeah. Another thing, I wanted to talk about a rumor real quick.
A rumor?
A rumor. It has been rumored that two people will reprise their roles. So
not including Laura Dern or Sam Neill?
No.
Okay.
They're confirmed.
This
is a rumor.
Rumor.
That Julianne Moore and Vince Vaughn will reprise their roles as Sarah Harding and Nick Van Owen from The Lost World, Jurassic Park
Vince
in
Vaughn
1997.
In a Jurassic Park movie?
In 1997.
Why can I not remember that? Oh my god, how long has it been since I've seen Jurassic Park?
It's been my whole life for me.
Fuck you.
But I love Vince Vaughn.
I love Vince Vaughn
Everything he's in is just fantastic.
I
feel like Vince Vaughn is like a funny guy. And I feel like that comedic relief is going to be kind of necessary in a movie like this where it's just filled with suspense and murder.
You know what? I think it actually is confirmed because I'm looking at, Vince Vaughn movies and it says Jurassic World Dominion.
Oh.
So hold on. I'm trying to... Okay. I guess Vince Vaughn was in the Lost World Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Why do I not remember it at all?
How can you not remember Vince Vaughn?
I don't know. It's been so long since I've seen that movie. Wow, holy shit. Well, okay, cool, yeah. So Vince Vaughn and Julianne Moore returning. That'd be really cool. I love Julianne Moore.
I don't know if I know who she is.
I've
probably seen her.
Did you see the Kingsman 2?
Yeah. I've seen all the Kingsman.
She was
such a good franchise.
She was the villain there. The drug lord.
Oh, that's her. Okay, I know who she is.
And she was in Don John. I believe she was in Don John with Joe Gordon-Levitt.
This movie has a budget of $165 million.
That seems like very, very little for such a huge cast that needs to be paid.
Well, that's why we don't have a fucking real trailer.
That's probably why. Yeah,
we've got a little tiny B-roll.
They paid for the cast and all the effects.
Yep.
Like, fuck, we don't have any money left for advertising and trailers.
Mm-hmm. There's gonna be cats dressed as dinosaurs in this movie. I'm just telling you.
I'll be the dinosaurs. Rawr.
Rawr. So the director is Colin Trevorrow. I definitely said that wrong.
Yeah, you probably did. I'm not going to attempt it.
He has 8 director credits. He was the director of Jurassic World.
Yep.
And he also did The Book of Henry, which I think was an animated movie, if I recall.
I'm going to be honest, I've never even heard of that movie.
And then I think the rest of everything he did was like shorts.
Yeah, I can see it.
But I'm interested to see how this movie goes. It was really funny because one of the trailers just like stopped for a second and then just like in big letters went directed by Colin. And I was like, who the fuck is this? That he just has his own screen of just him, and then it cut to a dinosaur just looking at you, and I was
how dare they not give us a goddamn trailer with 6 months away? We got,
what is coming out that is produced by Universal in the near future? Because I'm pretty sure we'll probably get this before that. Is
I believe
Ghostbusters? No, it would have been.
I believe we have a Minions movie coming out soon. The Rise of Gru.
When the fuck is a Minions movie coming out?
In 2022.
Have we gotten a trailer?
I don't know. Let me see. Probably not.
I've heard of it. I don't think we got a trailer for it though. But
so it is set to come out in 2022.
I'm talking about like January or like December. What Universal has coming out, because we'll probably get this trailer before that in theaters. That's what I'm assuming.
I'm not sure really what any like Universal like projects are coming out. I can try to take a gander real quick and see if we can like pull some stuff up. Interesting. I'm not really anything. Like it seems like their biggest movies that are like universally owned is Jurassic World Dominion, and then we have Minions: The Rise of Gru comes out the following month after. So I feel like we'll probably get those around the same time. Those two trailers. But yeah, I just want a goddamn trailer so I can get my full consensus about whether or not I'm gonna be very excited for this movie.
Yeah, I do too. Like really bad.
So hopefully we get that soon.
You know what? Sing 2. We might get a trailer with Sing 2.
Is that Universal?
Yep.
Is it?
But also, I don't know if we will because I think this is rated like 13 or R.
No, there's no way this is rated R. All the other Jurassic World movies have been PG-13.
Have they?
Yes, they have.
I don't know if they'll give us a 13 with a PG movie, to be honest.
No, I think they will.
Will they?
Yeah, because as long as there's no swearing.
Okay. Yeah, there's not much on the Universal. Nothing big.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like the only big movies they really have are coming out with Dominion, and then the month later is Minions: Rise
I
of
think
Gru.
The Bad Guys is.
I'm not even familiar with that one.
I don't know. We're getting a Puss in Boots movie in 2022.
Really?
How did I not know this?
I didn't know that either.
In September. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish.
Well, we'll find. We'll hopefully see a trailer for that sometime soon.
Yeah, very interesting. But I'll definitely see this.
Oh, we'll see.
I didn't hate the last one.
We'll see.
So we'll see.
I'll watch Fallen Kingdom through its entirety and make my consensus.
Yeah, I can't believe you haven't seen that.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
Yeah, shut the fuck up. You haven't seen any of the originals. All right, next topic of conversation. We have one of my favorite franchises, to be quite frank. I enjoyed the comic little snippets of the comic pieces that they had in the past with the movies based off of is The King's Man.
Yeah.
Which is set to come out later this month, 5 days after Spider-Man.
I'm fucking excited because this was supposed to come out last year.
Well, no, originally it was supposed to come out in 2019.
Ago. Yeah. It was supposed to come out on November 15th, 2019.
Yep.
Then it got pushed to February 14th, 2020. Then it got pushed to September 18th, 2020. Then it got pushed again to February 12th, 2021. And then it said it was going to come out August 2021.
I never heard about the August release date, but I did hear like from February to December, which was, I was like, oh my god, just give me this fucking movie.
We had before the movie theater I worked at closed, we had a poster up.
Yep, I do. I
Man.
Constantly remember like seeing that trailer,
and I was so poster. Hyped. I was like, yes, this is gonna come out soon. And then
and not even that too. Like we've had like this is what cracks me up too is that like it's this movie we've had a definitive trailer since 2019. We've had it, and we've been getting excited. They released like here and there like a little extra stuff about it. But I'm so very excited for this because not only is this a prequel movie, but it's after this one comes out, there is going to be a final chapter revolving around Harry and Eggsy, which is going to be really cool. And I was looking at the cast for this movie, and I'm not sure if it's like because sometimes they like mess up like the cast when they post like the cast list and everything, but it did show that Colin Firth and Taron Egerton were in the movie, so maybe it'll be kind of like a thing where a story is being told of like the founding of
this movie
of the headquarters. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I know it's a prequel of the founding of it, but maybe like they'll start off in the present time with Colin Firth telling Taron Egerton.
Oh yeah, probably
like going over that because it did say that they were
story time
casted. Yeah. And another person I am very excited that was casted is oh my god, what is Ralph Fiennes, Mr. Lord Voldemort himself.
Oh.
He plays the main Kingsman.
Speaking of Harry Potter, I think the franchise of the Kingsman franchise is probably my third favorite franchise ever. I think my first is Star Wars, my second is Harry Potter, and then it's followed by Kingsman. I would rate the Kingsman franchise over Marvel myself personally. Marvel's probably fourth. I just fucking love these movies.
See, if I had to do a ranking like that, I would easily, and I'm going to be talking about this later when we get more information about it, and we talk about it on the podcast, but I love The Lord of the Rings, which I need to get you. I need to get you on Lord of the Rings because you would love The Lord of the Rings.
I've seen like bits and pieces and not been like fulfilled with like I need to see
you need to watch like because phenomenally casted, phenomenally directed, and it just probably in my opinion and a lot of other people's opinion the greatest trilogy to exist because it was only 3 movies and then they had the 3 prequel movies with The Hobbit, and then honestly I'd go Harry Potter and then Marvel and then Star Wars. Only because Star Wars, I like Star Wars a good amount, but I'm talking about movies now. I'm not talking about the shows
Uh-huh.
because 9 Star Wars movies, I probably like 4 of them. Like I
See, I
really,
think I
really
liked
like
every
4 of them.
one.
I
I don't think I
hated
hated a movie.
hated the Rise of Skywalker. Absolutely hated it. It was very disappointing and felt I wanted my money back after I saw it. I did not like The Last Jedi either. I did not like The Phantom Menace, and I was not a big fan of Attack of the Clones.
Interesting.
So
Yeah, I don't think I hated a movie. I know a lot of people had issues with the prequel movies.
I'll
loved
call
them.
it 5 out of 9. I liked because I liked.
I loved me a good fucking Jar Jar.
Fuck you.
I love
Fuck
Jar Jar.
you. But I will say, out of the prequel movies, Revenge of the Sith is probably the best one. Then I love the original 3, and then I like The Force Awakens. The hot take, by the way. Okay, why are we even talking about Star Wars?
We
now?
got
All right, fuck Star Wars. Okay,
You
now.
went real deep in Star Wars.
Yeah,
I was saying franchises in general. And then
Anyways, back to our topic of
Wormhole.
conversation: the King's Man.
So one of the first quotes from the trailer that I had to write down.
I knew you were going to talk about this
because I chuckled. I enjoyed it. I don't know if he was like a dignitarian or what he was, but he was asked for a favor, and his response was, "I only make decisions when my stomach is full, or my balls are empty." And then it was like quiet, and you see like a waiter like gulp, like in nervous, and then the dude that asked the favor said, "Well, thank God dinner is about to be served."
Yeah, that's Ralph Fiennes. That's Mr. Lord Voldemort.
Oh, okay. Is that who that is?
Yeah. I gotta make sure I'm saying the right guy's name because I feel like it's right, but
yeah, I really enjoyed that. I had a good chuckle from it, and we watched the Red Band trailer. Obviously, if there's a Red Band trailer, you always watch that because it's the better of them. Yep. Always. It's more funny and more gruesome. I love some gore, and there were heads flying. There was so much stabbing, and this trailer was just action packed. I usually complain about action. I really fucking loved
that's what I was gonna say. I was about to call you out for a contradiction of yourself because our very first episode with the Batman, you were like, too much fighting, not enough story.
There was story. That's the issue, though. There was a lot of fighting, but there was a lot of story still to it. It's about how they started this organization, and they don't want to give it all to us in a trailer because, of course, there's probably not too much to explain. Wow, I signed a paper. We started this thing. Boom. You got to kind of give a lot of
it is
action.
It is really good to see because the first Kingsman and the second Kingsman, they had plenty of action, and the action sequences in these movies are always phenomenal. And it's good to see that they have crazy amount of action like they do. They did in the first ones, and
one thing I loved about this, there's a fencing scene
with the fencing gun,
and it's literally the fencing sword just has a gun attached to it.
Yeah,
and it was I was like, why is this not a thing? Why have we not seen this in other movies? Why is this like new? Like, it was fantastic. But yeah, there were heads flying. There was people just getting absolutely stabbed and lots of jumping, and I enjoyed it. I definitely did.
It gave me some Michael Bay vibes when you see I believe the character's name's Conrad when you see him carrying he's like during the war and he's like carrying the guy with shoulders.
We had like a war flashback, and
which is it's really cool that they talk more about those roots too, because they pull all these special ops people from all over to be a part of the Kingsmen, and it's really cool. I wonder if with this movie, because we got a lot of background in the American Association with
in the last
in the Golden Circle. Yeah. I wonder if maybe we'll see, if not a lot of explanation, maybe like a little Easter egg specification of them just starting up the American also maybe being in the works.
Speaking of the Golden Circle, you know me, I am not a rewatch a movie person.
Yep.
I usually will watch a movie once and be done. I think I saw it 3 times in theaters.
I see.
It was
I was
so
so
fucking
upset because
good.
I never got to see it in theaters. But as soon as it came on Blu-ray, I went to Walmart, bought it. I
Yeah.
watched it twice in a row.
I saw it 3 times in theaters, and it was so good. I think I own it, or I own the Secret Service. I don't know.
I own both of them, so if you need to borrow it,
I don't own physical DVDs. I just fucking hate them so much. So like the digital copy is what I have, and
Yeah.
I got that a long time ago.
I'll tell you one thing. Even with this trailer too, whoever is in charge of making the trailers for all three of these movies has killed it every single fucking time.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, my favorite trailer for these three movies was the Golden Circle trailer because it had so much class to it. The music for the trailer was Frank Sinatra's "My Way," which is I love Frank Sinatra, one of my favorite old oldies artists, and we hear him singing "My Way" over just a bunch of fight scenes, a car chase, and then this we have like almost classical music in the background of swords and guns and war and chases, and it's
got a
incredible.
vibe to it. It's definitely got its own like unique vibe.
It does, and I really do enjoy that because the Kingsmen, it's they're a protection, they're like a government, not really a government.
Not government.
They're a privately operated. I'm gonna call them problem solvers because they solve all the problems the government really can't.
They're kind of like what the Secret Service is supposed to be, but they're not.
Yeah, and
Like
I even though they're like that they take their job seriously, and it shows from like the first two that there's all a bunch of comedic relief throughout the movie, and right from the trailer we see we from the quote you so gloriously loved by Rasputin, we see Ralph Fiennes respond to it in such a comedic way. He goes, "Well, thank God dinner is about to be served," and and then we have what's her name? We have Gima. Gima Arterin. I believe that's her pronounced or not. I butchered that last name so bad, but she's playing Polly. And then, we see in the trailer, she has a sniper and she's like, and then you see all these actions. She has a sniper and she's like, well, you stop fucking around about then. And then it's like, they don't give a shit. They have all these wit to them and all these comedic lines they'll have. And it's just going to add like a little flair of like, oh, like a laughable moment in such a serious and intense scene.
Definitely. I'm excited. This movie is directed by Matthew Vaughn.
Who did the first two.
Yeah, he has 10 director credits. He did The Kingsman, The Secret Service, Kingsman, The Gold Circle. He also did X-Men First Class.
Yes, he did. Yep.
So I'm excited. I really am. I've been wanting this movie for so long.
I'm excited.
It's finally coming soon.
I am excited to see too as well. Like I mentioned that we maybe possibly will be seeing Colin Firth and Taron Egerton in this movie, and I'm excited to see that if we do see them, how events that happened so far, like in the past, in this movie, could maybe set up something big that could, because like they said in the trailer, Ralph Fiennes said in the trailer, small problems can lead into big things. So maybe something small, like something so small and tedious in this movie, could actually lead them to an eventual like world-threatening problem that they have to deal with in the third one.
So you had mentioned that they're going to be in there, and you had mentioned that it'll probably be like a beginning of the story, him telling the story.
Yes.
My thought is maybe it's an end credit scene of where it fast forwards into the future and sets up a fourth project.
I wouldn't say that because honestly, it'd be like think about like My Way. Like I was saying, like maybe they'll start off a movie with like a history being like brought up about it because it's very hard, especially because you already have two movies that were set in such a different time period. Yeah, like prior to it, they can't really just start a movie off with, here we are. 3
movies, or am I going crazy?
So that's what I was saying, that there's going to be a third movie that isn't a prequel. So how I've been saying it. So I said third, but it's going to be a fourth movie. But I'm saying it's like the third in the Colin Firth and Taron Egerton trilogy. Mm-hmm. And I'll be very excited to see that, because especially the way the Golden Circle left off with Channing Tatum in London at the new Kingsman operation. Mm-hmm. And then however this movie ends, it will be great, and I'm very excited to see this movie.
More DC projects to talk about. This is DC League of Super Pets, coming out on May 20th, 2022. very soon. And I wouldn't say very soon. What, 6 months away it is?
Yeah,
It'll
5.
be here before we know it. It'll definitely be here before we know it.
Yay.
But it has the one thing I want to talk about is the all-star cast before we get into it. It stars Dwayne Johnson as Crypto.
Yep.
It stars Kevin Hart as Ace. It stars Natasha Lyonne as Merton, which, if you don't know who she is, she was in Orange is the New Black.
Yep.
She played one of the
That's
main
right.
characters.
That's right.
John Krasinski as Superman.
Love me some John Krasinski.
And then it also stars Dasha Polanco as Green Lantern. And if you don't know who she is, she was also in Orange is the New Black. She played Daya in Orange is the New Black. Another main character there. And then we've also got no character announcements for these people, but Keanu Reeves.
Oh, jeez.
Ben Schwartz.
Oh, my God.
Kate McKinnon. Jamila Jamil, which if you don't know who she is from The Good Place. And then Thomas Middleditch, which if you don't know who he is, he's from Silicon Valley. So it's got an all-star cast to it. I know you had mentioned before that you weren't looking forward to this.
No, because this project, it's got all these big names and everything. I love a lot of these actors and actresses, but, it just feels like DC's just scraping the bottom of the barrel here.
Yeah. It feels like very much I got vibes of Secret Life of Pets. Like, it just, watching it, I was like, why are we getting the Secret Life of Pets spin-off?
Yeah, I got that vibe too, mainly only because, I just hear Kevin Hart's voice and I'm just like, oh, great, it's the fucking bunny again. This is from fucking Secret Life. But this movie's really going to tailor more towards a young audience. Yeah. Like a kid's movie. So it could do well and it could not. I feel like we'll have another, what's that movie that came out with John Cena where he was a fireman?
Oh.
I feel like we have another one of those movies on our hands. So it's going to be tailored towards kids and it's not going to do well.
Oh my goodness, what was that called? Something Fire.
Playing with Fire, maybe?
Yes, it was Playing with Fire. Yeah, that didn't look good though.
Yeah,
this doesn't look bad.
I don't know. I can't really get behind it.
So the summary for this movie is: when the Justice League are captured by Lex Luthor, Superman's dog Krypto forms a team of shelter pets who are given superpowers. In the trailer, it kind of looks like a piece of radioactive something falls in the shelter and then
probably kryptonite
explodes and they all get powers. But the new power wielding animals, we have a hound named Ace who becomes super strong, a pig named PB who can grow to giant size, a turtle named Merton who becomes super fast, and a squirrel named Chip who gains electric powers. It seems obvious with the powers that they're provided with, because you've got PB, which can grow large, and when you get a pig it's super tiny and looks super cute and then becomes this fucking 200-pound thing. Merton, of course, is a turtle who can go fast. That's more obvious. And then Chip has electric powers because he's a squirrel and squirrels are usually on power lines. So it seems like they didn't put too much thought into powers. They were just like, oh, this is easy. This makes sense. It has the same animation style as Scoob, which is produced by the same exact company. They just took the same style and rolled with it.
Yep.
Which I didn't see Scoob. It didn't look the best to me, so I was like,
I bought it on DVD. I still haven't watched it. Mm-hmm. But that had a really good cast to it, so and I'll give it a watch here or there whenever. Maybe if we get snowed in coming up, I'll watch it.
So a few of the scenes I wanted to talk about. We start off the trailer with Krypto waking up Superman, and he's doing all this stuff to wake him up, and he is not waking up. So what does he do? He grabs Superman by the mouth. He bites onto his shirt and flies, and then it just drops him. And that's what wakes up Superman.
I think he was like licking his face. He like sat on his face at one point. He was
Gross.
doing all sorts of stuff in the beginning.
That's how you get
Nothing
things
was
out.
wake. Yeah. And then after that, we moved on to Superman and Krypto, kind of holding hands to be a bridge for the train. It looks like the train's bridge was kind of blown up, so they're holding like not even holding it. They are the bridge.
Gotcha.
So that was a really cool scene. Then one funny part I wanted to mention was, obviously Krypto is a super dog, and isn't used to normal dogs. There's a scene where he's talking to a corgi, and the corgi is just, they're having a normal conversation, and the corgi is like, "Where is my owner? I need to get out of here." He gets creeped out by Krypto because Krypto is obviously a lot
I'd be
different.
fucking terrified too if I had the Rock, the voice of the Rock, talking to me.
Yep. The indestructible dog Ace at one point is used as a meat shield because he's indestructible, so like he can't get injured. So they just use him, and they all hide behind him when a rocket is coming their way. They're like, "Okay,
I can just
go."
I can just hear Kevin Hart's voice in a reaction to having a missile practically bounce off him.
He ended up, it didn't even bounce. It like still blew up, and he was like laying on the ground, and he was like, "Can someone switch superpowers with me?" And that was really all the notes I had, to be honest, about, because there wasn't too much in the trailer. There was another conversation that Kevin Hart was having as his character, where Krypto is giving like a speech to the shelter pets, and he's just off to the corner peeing, and he's like, "Oh, I had 2 dog bowls and a bidet today." And then it has like a whole conversation about what a bidet is. He's like, "Yeah, it's like a water fountain for dogs."
Oh, what the fuck?
I already
hate this movie.
This movie is literally Secret Life of Pets.
I literally already hate this movie.
But DC put their little stamp on it, and we're like, "Ooh, it's a DC movie." So this is Dwayne Johnson's 3rd theatrical released movie. His animated movie, yes. His first one was Planet 51 in 2009.
Oh my god, that came out so
Such a good movie.
That was 12 years ago. Oh my god.
And then Moana in 2016. Then we've got Kevin Hart. This is his 4th theatrically animated film. Of course, he did The Secret Life of Pets 1 and 2. He also did Captain Underpants, the first epic movie.
Yeah.
Which I'd never watched. I didn't
watch it. I forgot it existed.
Cared to. And then Keanu Reeves. This is his 3rd appearance in an animated film. He was in Toy Story 4.
Yes, he was.
And he was in the SpongeBob movie, Sponge on the Run, which is a Paramount Plus original, I believe.
Was it a Paramount Plus original?
The SpongeBob movie?
I thought it came out on... Like, I thought it was released in theaters.
No.
No?
I think it was supposed to.
And
then COVID, and it ended up becoming an original.
Plus, that's right.
It has 2 directors. The first one is Jared Stern, who, this is his 2nd project as a director. The first one, he directed Happy Anniversary, which was released in 2019. It was a Netflix original, and it starred Ben Schwartz, who is also going to be in this movie.
Was it 2019 or 2018?
2018. Did I say 2019?
You did.
Cool. And then Sam Levine. This is his 3rd project. His other 2 are Pen Zero, Part-Time Hero. He did 43 episodes of it. And then Robot and Monster. He did 9 episodes. Which, Robot and Monster...
I don't remember that.
When I was a kid, that was like the shit. It was a Nickelodeon show.
It sounds familiar.
About like roommates, and it was a robot and a monster. It was great.
Really scratching the bottom of the barrel there, Nickelodeon, huh?
You know, it was good. I think it was 2009 that came out or something. It was really good. But yeah, there just wasn't a lot to this movie, and you know, we'll see in the future if we get other trailers how much more they give us before the movie. But it's not too far away, so I don't know. Maybe we'll get a trailer with what are we getting that's DC? I don't know.
Nothing that's appropriate enough to show kids movie.
I don't think so, to be honest. I don't even know.
Because the next DC project we really have is Batman and then Peacekeeper.
Yeah. I don't remember who this is released by, like what the animation studio is. Do you remember
I do not.
who did Scoob in that? I don't remember. I probably should have wrote that down, but
Yeah, me too. I saw us put this in the notes. I was like, oh, fucking great. I gotta fucking talk about this movie. I bet you talked about it. Because fuck it.
But I think I'll see it when it comes out. I mean, depends what comes out at the same time, to be honest.
I promise you, I won't. All right, and to finish off today's episode, we are going to be talking about the first look at Hawkeye.
Yeah.
I know we had talked about it a little bit when the debut week of it, but we didn't get a chance to watch it. I mean, I caught up on it, so
Which, if you haven't heard us talk about Hawkeye previously, it is a part of our Disney Plus episode.
It was, yes.
So if you haven't seen that episode,
so
go ahead,
go check it
check it out.
But now we're going to talk about it a little more here. We're going to do more kind of like a deeper dive into the episode 1. And this is such a short series that I feel as though we can, at the end of each episode within this coming weeks, we're going to probably talk about and break down each episodes. I will actually be mentioning some stuff from episodes 2 and 3, only like
and I will cover my ears.
He will cover his ears, but
I'm very behind.
He needs to catch up, but I've seen all the way up to episode 3, and then episode 4 comes out this Wednesday. Well, by the time this episode airs, it will have already come out, so I'll be caught up on that one. But I'll be mainly talking about episodes 1, 2, and 3, where we'll do the huge deep dive in episode 1.
Yeah. I'll probably finish it tonight, the next 2. But I wrote down to talk about this on the episode, and then time just got away from me this week, and I was thinking about it, and I was getting my prep done for today, and I was like, oh shit, I have still not watched any of it. So this morning, I was like, I gotta watch it. So I watched it, the first episode. It was good.
I
enjoyed it.
Love the series so far. I gotta be honest with you. I watched.
Well, you're more in.
I am more in. And one thing I gotta say is the chemistry between Jeremy Renner, and you don't really see it much in the first episode at all. But I will say this: the chemistry between Haley Steinfeld and Jeremy Renner is just—it's like that.
The first episode literally ends with him saving her from a bunch of thugs. And
ripping
then bringing her to an
mask.
alley and about to beat her ass.
And he puts a fist and goes, "Ah, come on!" And that's how it ends. Drop my phone. But
when it's a series about their relationship, and you don't get any of that in the first episode, I can't really talk about the series as a whole because I don't see that yet.
But I will tell you this: I already like in love with this character because I love Kate Bishop from the comic books and everything, and Haley Steinfeld is playing so far and a great Kate Bishop. She's so sassy, and it's great. She's sassy. She has no filter.
Yeah,
and you'll see later in the episode. She makes fun of Hawkeye a lot. She gives him shit, and they just have like that sort of like it's like a father figure kind of bond because and we see in the first episode her father dies, and
it started off with like her parents fighting about money, and then like moved on to her father dying.
Yep.
So here's my prediction. I wonder if her father didn't die to the attacks outside. I wonder if the attacks outside were a cover-up for her mother to kill the father, because it seems that her mother is sketch as fuck, and she even in the episode gets into an altercation with someone else, and it was like, you don't know who I know, like I know.
Yes, that with that actor,
and he was a good. This bitch killed her husband. She killed her husband. I'm gonna
make a mini comment about that actor. I love that actor. He played in Ace Ventura.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching that in the second Ace Ventura movie. I was watching that, so I was like, who the fuck did this guy, like, what was this guy in? And it was driving me crazy. I was watching it with my girlfriend. I was watching it with Jules. And I'm sitting there, and she looked it up, and she's like, "Come on, you know this. You're gonna hate yourself when you can't guess." And I couldn't guess it, but I can agree with you on that. But I've also seen episode 2 and 3, and it's hard to really tell once you see episode 2 and 3. Once you see episode 2 and 3, it's kind of hard to tell,
because she was gone for so long when her daughter was just running around screaming for help. And there was like a good 2 minutes where her daughter's like looking around the house just screaming for help, and she could have easily taken that time to fucking murder
But here's also,
him.
but no, but here's the thing. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm pretty sure he like left the house. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure like he left the house.
I don't know if he did. I don't remember.
But I also think she went to his study and like his study was completely blown. Like remember she's like looking out when she sees Hawkeye.
Well, I mean, she didn't go to the parents' bedroom.
No, but he was gonna be in his study. Remember?
I don't remember.
He said he was gonna be in his study. So I believe she went to his study.
I mean, she would have found a body if
not necessarily
anything.
if it's on the rubble.
Yeah. One thing I liked about it was that scene happened and it was dramatic, but then it didn't just cut and say 12 years later.
Yeah, like all the opening credits were just all
it was
her
like animated
training.
version of her.
It was really cool
living up to that, and that was really cool to see that they didn't just go, yeah, fuck her childhood. You don't get to see any more of that. But they also didn't waste a whole episode.
Yeah,
literally every year of her life. And that saved them money too. They didn't have to hire 23 actresses.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I really like and enjoy seeing the trauma that Clint is dealing with, because not only is he dealing with the trauma of
one thing we mentioned. Sorry to cut you off. One thing we mentioned a lot in the last episode was how we thought they could be divorced. It did not seem like
no, they're not. They're not divorced.
Episode.
Yeah, they're not divorced. It seemed like she had like a work thing she had to stay home for.
Yeah.
But I do like I was saying, I do enjoy seeing the trauma that Clint has to endure and is still enduring, especially like when they're at the Rogers the musical.
Yeah.
And he sees the actress, like his whole like thing is just focusing on the actress playing Nat, because he still has this immense emotional like distraught, and within him is like a battle with himself that it should have been. He still thinks it should have been him.
Mm-hmm.
And and then he goes to the bathroom and he sees right onto Thanos was right, and he feels even worse about himself, and
the dude is literally in the bathroom like
ready to take a selfie
we take
with
a
him.
picture, and he
but and then you even see it when they're eating at the Chinese restaurant, and and the waiter says no, that's on us, like you saved our city. And it seems like he doesn't even like want him to do that. Like he feels like he hasn't done shit. He doesn't feel like a hero. He feels so guilty for everything he's done, and that his past is now catching back up with him.
Definitely. One thing I'll say is that when Kate is at school and she's trying to ring the bell with her bow and arrow.
Yep.
And she ends up ringing it a little too hard. And the entire clock tower just completely crumbles. And then her mother's like now has to pay for it. But that shows like right off the bat how all of those years of animated leading up have led to her gaining the skills to do shit like that and have these dope ass archery skills.
Yeah, she's the best. Someone's called her the greatest archer in the world. But no, I do really enjoy the series as a whole right now, and you'll see tonight if you watch them that episodes 2 and 3 are great. You see a lot of stuff from the trailer in these 2 episodes, and so it leaves a lot.
Do I see the daiquiri ice packs? They're like I can't weird
recall,
shaped.
I can't recall if it was daiquiri, but you do see Haley Steinfeld putting a frozen pizza over her head.
Oh no, it was on Clint.
No, I know, but you do see. I'm not sure if it's that part, but you do. There's quite a bit of fighting that does ensue, and one thing, slight spoiler for you.
Yeah, la.
Can you hear me? Do you care if you hear the spoiler?
I'm gonna hit you if it's too big of one, but
I mean, it has a lot to do with something that has been confirmed by Kevin Feige that I really want to talk about now. Because I did mention anything. Because I did mention it in last week's episode about Kingpin and Echo. So here's the thing that happens.
Okay.
It's big, but it's not big.
Okay.
So we do see Echo.
Yes.
In the end of episode 2.
Well, I think it was that she's going to be in every episode.
Well, so she's in the end of episode 2.
There's only 6 episodes, right?
Yes, but
she's in every episode.
Well, not one.
She must have been.
No.
She was credited for 6.
She wasn't. I promise you she wasn't. Because she gets introduced in the 2. She is,
maybe she just walked in the background.
I don't think so. But the tracksuit guys that, they beat up in it?
Yes.
She's the leader of them.
Oh.
So what happens is...
the tracksuit guys that
Yeah, like the Russian that robbed the
are
place.
coming to okay, the ones that robbed the place and
then
Yeah.
go after Kate.
yes.
Were
Were they the same people that went after Kate
Yep.
though?
Yes.
I thought so. The thing I thought was the second group of people that went after Kate were different, and maybe there was someone that Ronan pissed off previously.
So you're on the right track. They aren't a different group, but the tracksuits were the one who robbed the auction and who were going after Kate.
Okay.
So yes, Ronan did piss him off. So what I'm going to tell you, it's a little bit of spoiler, but you'll see it. So I
already predicted it.
Yeah, you predicted a decent amount, but there's a little more to it. So, we see that at the end of episode 2, we see Hawkeye basically he gives himself up to the tracksuits because he tries to clear Kate's name and say that she's not the Ronin. She just picked up the costume and just it was a complete misunderstanding. And you see Echo. Echo's deaf. And she's also an amputee. She has a prosthetic leg as well.
Okay.
And then the episode 2 ends with her telling her lieutenant to be quiet, and then she leave her be. In episode 3, it starts off with kind of a little bit of her background. She's deaf, and her father loves her so dearly, and he wants to give her the world and everything. They talk about all these it's like a little Easter egg thing. They talk about dragons. Do dragons exist in this world? Shang-Chi. We see the dragon. It's a cute little Easter egg. And then it shows her grown up. And it shows her in a gym and she's fighting. And she's kicking ass, even with one leg.
Yep.
And then what's really fascinating is that you go to... you see... so, actually, sorry. I skipped ahead. You see a part of her after she's in karate class as a kid. And her father says, your uncle is going to pick you up after the match. And then...
I love how you're signing.
Yeah, I was signing, sorry. Picks you up after the match, and then you don't see the uncle's face. But you hear him talk to her. And then, like what I mentioned, she was at the gym boxing, and then she goes back to her family's garage, which is the tracksuits. Her father was the leader of the tracksuits. And as she pulls up, they're getting slaughtered by Ronan. They're getting slaughtered by Clint. Yep. So it's during the whole when the blip happened, and they all got after Thanos' snap. Okay. And her father's dying, and Ronan leaves. He escapes before, and then she sees him, and he tells her to be strong and everything. I can't remember if he mentioned anything about Uncle, but it is also mentioned that atop of her father is the guy referred to as Uncle. So, like I talked about with Kingpin, I believe that Uncle is Kingpin.
Uncle, yeah.
And that, because, Echo is his adopted daughter. So I believe that Kingpin is Uncle. And especially because we didn't see his face at all. But it was also too confirmed that Charlie Cox, who played Daredevil in the Netflix Marvel series Daredevil, is going to be returning to the MCU. He's going to be in the MCU, and that's confirmed. So I do believe that this will not only introduce Kingpin, but also can introduce a storyline that could possibly involve Matt Murdock in the future. Yeah. Which is going to be, I really hope that that's the direction they go to, because I called it, when the Kingpin. And it'll be really interesting to see not only having to deal with Echo and having to deal with Kingpin, but then also we'll further find out that when Yelena enters the mix. So excited! So I'm very excited to see that. But that's really all I had to talk about with those episodes, without spoiling too more, much for you, a little more for you.
Well, so one thing we find in episode 1 is the introduction of her friend, the dog. I don't know his name still.
I'm pretty sure they named him Lucky.
Oh yes, that's his name, Lucky. But have you seen the Funko figure of Kate Bishop with Lucky?
Yes, I have.
Oh, it's so cute.
I kind of hope they give him. I know in some comic book story arcs they give him a eye patch.
You had mentioned that, and like I said before, I think that'll probably be his Christmas gift.
Oh, that'd be so adorable. That'd be adorable
because that's when it takes place. I looked up on IMDb, and Echo does only have 5 credits. So
Yeah. So
I thought it was 6 before. It is just 5.
Yep.
And Yelena has 3. So I'm so excited. So she
So
probably
she'll
gets introduced in 4.
in 4, and then 5 and 6.
5 and 6. Which I'm so hyped for. I'm give me more Yelena. I need it now.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see, because now it's just going to be even more problems. You'll see in episode 2 and 3 how much problems that occurred with them, and it's going to be even bigger now.
You know, I said this last week, and I'll say it again. Bring me Rogers the Musical.
No.
I want it now.
It was so dumb. Like I knew it was gonna be a cringy thing, but it was way more cringy than I even thought possible.
But actually done right, it could look good.
No, it couldn't.
Yes, it could.
No, fuck you. It could not.
It could.
No, shut up.
It was meant to be like a joke, but I think if they actually tried, it would be
okay.
really
No,
cool.
You know what? On that note, I think we should end there, because on that note, that's horrible.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us this week. We really appreciate it. We had a lot to talk about.
We did have a lot to talk
still a whole
about,
bunch.
and there's gonna be immense amounts to talk about in the coming of days, in the next couple of episodes. And we just really appreciate you guys so much, and all your support that you've given us in these 5 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want any more information about our podcast, you can follow me over at BrennanWhite3 at Twitter.
You can find me on Twitter at Chris White with 2 T's. You can also follow the podcast at CR Convo. One thing I wanted to mention real quick before we end it. We have a brand new exclusive episode over on Anchor for our subscribers.
Yes.
So every week when we record these episodes, we're going to do an exclusive episode.
Yeah, it'll probably be like nothing too huge, probably like 5 to 10, long. Maybe if it's a huge topic that, our more like subscribed listeners will want to listen to, we could maybe shoot it up to 15 to 20.
Yeah.
But nothing too big. If there's a topic we don't get to cover within the 45 to an hour limit we have on our podcast episodes.
I will tell you, no episode we've done is less than an hour.
The first one, I thought.
No.
Okay,
it was like an hour 15.
I'll say 50 to an hour and 20. Because we do talk a lot, and we have a lot. We have a lot of ideas we bounce off back and forth with each other.
And with these special exclusive episodes, we'll be able to talk a little bit more about certain topics, which could include a lot more spoilers that we wouldn't normally talk about here.
Exactly. And I know one thing that Chris and I had talked about. Not only will this be a place where we talk about movies and TV shows that are coming out, but and I will be talking to him more about this in the coming of days, especially with all these new releases we have for not only movies and TV shows, but we also have new releases for video games coming out. So I know just this month alone we have quite a bit coming out. We had quite a bit in the past couple months, so we will be pretty soon actually
we'll be
starting to incorporating some video games, and maybe just a whole episode will be centered around video games, and we'll include that to our roster of things to talk about.
When we started, we wanted to kind of start in one area, and as we go, add new segments.
Exactly, and especially
talk
because
more about different stuff.
Especially because we talk about so many trailers in one episode a week, so now we're running out of shit to talk about. So we got.
Not really. It's not difficult.
But no, there's gonna be.
We just end up with DC Super Pets.
Yeah, fuck you for that. No, but we will be incorporating so many more movies and TV shows, and there's so much more content coming out as well with video games, TVs, movies, and just in 2022 alone, we're gonna have such big motion pictures and pre-existing stories such as Harry Potter franchises. We have the Secrets of Dumbledore coming out in 2022. We have the Hogwarts 20th reunion on January 1st.
Which I was going to talk about that this week, but the trailer is nothing.
We'll talk about it next week.
The trailer was nothing.
No, it was a pretty decent trailer, but we will talk about that either next week or the week after. And again, guys, thank you so much for your support. We appreciate it so much.
We really do. So if you want to hear us talk about, are you ready for the announcement? We're going to talk about Don't Look Up.
Don't Look Up, yes.
And that will be exclusive to our subscribers over on Anchor. So head on over to anchor.fm/crconvo to join us over there and hear these exclusive episodes. And, you'll be able to hear all of them from the future.
Exactly. Please, guys, subscribe. Especially this movie. This is going to be a great movie coming out on Christmas Eve on Netflix. It's got a great cast. Jennifer Lawrence, Leonardo DiCaprio, Jonah Hill, Ariana Grande, Kid Cudi. Chris
And
Evans. There's so
It was
many.
filmed
It was filmed
in
on
our backyard.
basically in our backyard. Yes, we were based out of Massachusetts, and it was filmed at Fall River, Battleship Cove.
Yep.
So it holds another special place in our hearts for this movie. Not only do we love all these actors and actresses in this movie, but we're going to be watching the movie, and we're going to be Leonardo DiCaprio meaning it. We're going to be that's Battleship Cove. And we're going to be doing that. So please join us over on that special episode, and we hope to see many of you guys there. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much. Have a fantastic week.